studio in Newport Beach, California. Welcome to another edition of the Chab Dog Sports Talk Radio Show. Sometimes scattered, but always edgy. We're an authentic take on sports talk. Rated R. Chab Dog brings you Eric, the well-read, Frank, the tank, Brian from Sports Rock, and special guests. We're here to talk sports. We're here to rant and vent. We're here to take it up another notch. Now here's your host, Chab Dog.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Chab Dog Sports Talk. We're on each Sunday from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific Time, and brought to you by Chab Dog Sports Blog for your head of your sports headlines and biting sports commentary. You can find us on Facebook. Just type in Chab Dog and at chabdog.com. Also brought to you by Chabner Law, serving Southern California's transactional legal needs. And we also do estate planning. You can find more about that at chabnerlaw.com. All right, well, we got a great show for you right before last show before Christmas, and we got my co-host on the line, Eric Sove, and also the show producer. How are you doing, Eric?
Hey, Chab Dog. I'm in the studio, dude.
Yeah, you sound like you're in the studio, man. That voice is unblemished and untarnished. I wish I was at the studio with you, but not this week. But we will fix that soon.
Hopefully next week. But on the saga for those following your tailpipe,
I know
you've got a new tailpipe.
My car
right?
back, thank God.
Car's back on the road. Congratulations.
It's back on the road. I'm not sure it's totally 100% cured, but we'll have to play that by ear. But it does work.
Uh-huh.
And knock on wood, I still have my catalytic converter as of last night. So.
Right. All right.
There's a problem in Manhattan Beach, though, and a lot of the surrounding environs with people getting these things taken off of their cars. It's becoming an epidemic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the changes in the laws and crimes under $1,000 not being punishable anymore, it makes catalytic converter theft.
$1,000.
It is. Well, I bet you the perpetrators are still given an exemption for some reason, especially with the new Gascon. Have you been following Gascon at all, our new DA?
No. What is that?
Oh, Phil Gascon, the new DA who was elected. He took over for Jackie Lacey here in L.A.
Yeah. And what's he like compared to her?
Oh, he's much more liberal. Yeah, he actually insisted that there were
exactly what we needed.
Yeah,
yes.
Much more liberal. And if you pick up the newspaper and look at the latest headlines, you'll see that he was interfering in court cases and specifically saying, I want no more mandatory sentences, no more minimum this, minimum that, or maximum this, maximum that. He's letting criminals just walk. You'll see. I'm not exaggerating.
Another reason to get people to leave California, I guess.
Well, no, hey. This is what the liberals won, the Democrats won. There's a supermajority of Democrats here in the state of California and in the L.A. area in particular. If this is what they want, let them try it. I mean, they're not trying this anywhere else. Let's see if it works. It didn't work in San Francisco.
Aren't they doing this in Seattle and Portland?
If by this we mean this ultra-liberal interpretation of criminal law where you say that wrong is right and you let people walk and you don't even prosecute, then yes, I guess this is being tried in Portland and Seattle, isn't it?
And New York.
To a lesser,
we're going to see an exodus from the cities and the departure of tax bases, and I can't see this being a good thing, but
they want to try it. But, Chab Dog, these are the people, the constituencies in these areas that vote heavily Democrat. Clearly, whether they want to or not, they're trying it. I believe they want to try it. I believe this is the liberal way. And fine, it's a good experiment. They're not doing it in my neighborhood. That's fine. I don't think they're going to do it in your neighborhood in particular.
You live in a certain place in the country where it's right now more of, it's more of a conservative area.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I live on the outskirts of Los Angeles, and once crime really starts seeping into our town, then yeah, you're going to see more of an uproar. But it's already kind of starting.
Well, it already is there. I mean, the theft of your catalytic converter is evidence right there that it's seeping out of L.A. and into Manhattan Beach, and crimes of opportunity are occurring right now. The mobs are right behind it. Thankfully, we have a wall here at the Orange County line. It's not a curtain, in the previous administration, they built a wall here, so it'll keep you guys out. Unless you tunnel underneath
the whole of county will be like a gated community, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. It already is. Too late.
I'm here to see Eric Selvey. Can you please buzz me in? Yeah. Security guard, please.
We could very easily, yeah. There's only two ways on and off the peninsula here. It'd be very easy to gate the whole place off. Not that it isn't gated off sectionally already. Oh, my goodness. So, Chab Dog, Monday Night Football is...
I know.
The Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cincinnati Bengals.
Monday Night Football.
Now,
the Steelers don't lose on Monday Night Football either, right?
Very, very seldom. And they very seldom lose to Cincinnati. When was the last time they lost a game to Cincinnati?
Yeah,
it's been a while.
1991. I know. They've lost since then.
But you watched it. You grew up with this rivalry between these two teams back when, say, Cincinnati was better and Pittsburgh maybe not quite so good when they were more competitive, and they were very bloodthirsty games. Aren't these bloodthirsty games in any event?
Yeah, they always get up for us, and they like they like to hit hard when they play us and do whatever they can to get us mad. Mm-hmm. But more often than not, they shoot themselves in the foot and they just kind of self-destruct with penalties and stupidity. We can go back to that game we saw, the Trevor Burfict game.
Mm-hmm.
They roughed Ben Roethlisberger I think it was in overtime, and basically gave us field position, and we won with a field goal, I think.
Mm-hmm.
This year, they're beaten up and kind of a mess, so I don't really think they have the ability to win the game, but who knows? I mean, if we come out flat, anything can happen, as you saw before, and
I wouldn't say the previous two games, which were the only two losses Pittsburgh has on its resume this year, were the result of the Steelers coming out flat. That wasn't flat. That was missing bodies, and that was just, injured bodies and people just not able to perform as they had in the previous 11 weeks. That's all.
Well,
I think coaching, there'll be a readjustment there. I mean, you'll see them. Pittsburgh's an elite team. They're a wonderful competitor. They're up there.
Yeah,
not 11-2
by
accident.
I saw some things in both those games that alarmed me, like the fact that they can't run the ball.
Uh-huh.
And if they need 1 yard, it's hard for them to run it with their current personnel, and I don't know if that problem's been fixed. That's why I was saying they probably need to think about picking somebody up.
Yeah, they seem to pass awfully well, though. I saw that and thought, geez, this is going to be funny. No running game. They didn't need one. They just pass.
Yeah, usually. But you got to believe me, you need a running game with some semblance in the NFL. You can't just throw every down. Bad things happen when you throw too many passes. And look what happened in the Redskins game. They threw that interception, which killed them at the end, and it wasn't really Ben's fault, but it was a pass that got tipped, and that passes get tipped a lot.
Yeah, but the Steelers had the Redskins on the ropes with no running game. I mean, come on. They had it figured out. But yeah, live by the past, you die by the past. But before we get too far, I went back in the archives here and found a little piece of referring to another matchup between Pittsburgh and Cincinnati in September of 2016. Take a listen to this.
Hey there, sports fans. Chab Dog here.
Did you see that Steelers-Bengals game the other night?
What transpired Saturday night was disgraceful.
Wasn't that like a supernatural experience watching that Steelers-Bengals game?
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
It was embarrassing.
At Chabdog, we cover the world of sports, from NFL to competitive eating.
Them goofs in Cincinnati put chili on spaghetti.
And there is no place for that in football.
Oh, what do you mean we put French fries on weird stuff? That's because in Pittsburgh, French fries are a condiment.
It came across as Marvin Lewis being devoid of the necessary control you're supposed to have.
No, I think it's only cannibalism if you swallow.
Like a bunch of hooligans. That's what they did.
People in serious need of like a bigger dose of Prozac.
My main team is the Steelers.
Yeah, your main team is the Steelers. Allahu Akbar.
The one we watched. Wasn't that the one we watched together? We did. I think that was the one where we did the blogcast together.
I think that was in 2014.
Really? I thought it was more like 2016.
Then that would have been. That could have been it too. Yeah, that's right. That could have been it too. Yeah, I wasn't here yet.
Yeah. Speaking of swallowing, how's Eric Swalwell doing?
Gee, that's embarrassing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He stepped into a pile. You know what? With that.
Oh yeah. Anyone working for the government in any position, elected or otherwise, come on, guys. You got to know by now. You should be in the know. We shouldn't have to be telling you that any Chinese lady who's coming on to you, dude, she's a spy. Yeah, she's not. You're not handsome. You're not good looking. You don't have enough money. She's a spy. She's working for Beijing. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
You're not cute. She doesn't like you. She'll sucky your cock, no problem. But that's because she's pumping you for information, fool. Come on.
Yeah, she had the Kung Pao power.
Kind of like what was happening to Walter Matthau, or better yet, not Walter Matthau, to there he is, this guy. It's
Charlie! What? What are you doing?
Where?
Joey Bishop.
There, with her.
Yeah.
Her. How could you?
What?
There's a woman's bare back there too. She's putting a bra on.
When I came in, you and she
Now
I
she's
love
slipping on her
her.
dress.
Elaine DeVry. Really hot.
She's putting on her jacket. She's
Charlie!
now she's slipping out the door.
You and that woman!
What woman?
What woman?
Now she's gone.
The one who just left.
When?
Yeah, then he goes into his chair and smokes his pipe like Hugh Hefner, right?
What?
Yeah.
Aren't you even ashamed of yourself?
Like nothing happened.
Why?
What?
Because of...
Yeah, he's lighting the pipe. Looks back. The bed's perfect and perfectly made, like nobody was even there.
Absolutely perfect. No evidence at all.
No evidence. Now she's looking at him in amazement.
Charlie?
What?
What would you like for dinner?
Okay. That was interesting. So that's a guide for the married man. What year is that, Chabdog?
1967.
Wow. I was 1 year old.
Yeah.
It's funny to see
That
what's
was
going on.
around the same time they... You know who made that movie? Who was the producer of that?
Mel Brooks?
No, Carl Reiner.
Carl Reiner?
Yeah, Carl Reiner. He was in the movie as well.
Well, of course, Carl Reiner. Yes. That's no surprise. Yeah, Mel Brooks, Carl Reiner. Yeah, it's his bosom buddy. Music by the Turtles.
They were great buddies. So they I don't know if they ever collaborated on any movies, but they were known to be good friends.
Well, they did that 10,000-year-old man gig too, right? Didn't they do a lot of stuff in the 50s and 40s?
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, Inger Stevens, Walter Matthau, the Turtles.
Robert Morse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Robert Morse. There he is. Oh, there they are at the amusement park that used to be at where the Beverly Mall is now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Lucille Ball, Jack Benny, Polly Bergen, Joey Bishop,
Art Carney,
Sid Caesar, Art Carney, Wally Cox, Jane Mansfield, Hal March, Louis Nye, Carl Reiner, Phil Silvers, and Terry Thomas as the Beaver, Ben Blue. Yeah. Walter Matthau and this lady here.
Yeah.
Wow, what a lineup. What a star-studded lineup here.
I don't know what it is about Walter Matthau that I like, but he's been in a lot of good movies. He's got a good personality. He may not be the classic leading man, but
no, maybe, I don't know. He seems miscast here in 1967, but then everybody looks miscast in 1967 in this film. These people are the men in this film are portraying men younger than you and I are now, and yet they look older and seem older and have older mannerisms.
Yeah, exactly. But that doesn't matter because that's the way it is. And back then, people looked older.
Yes. Yeah, as a result of the Second World War.
In that time frame, it probably made more sense.
They just aged everybody. Well, yeah, because it was Second World War. Everyone had PTSD, undiagnosed PTSD, from going through that traumatic experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting times.
I don't know if Walter Matthau ever won an Academy Award. He probably didn't, but he was a very successful actor. He did a lot of movies. They generally did pretty well, and people liked him.
His more serious roles, such as Taking a Pelham 123, which we profiled last week, or Charlie Varick or Charles Varick, which we did that a year or two ago. That's one of my favorites. Yeah, where he's just like hard Scrabble. He's robbing banks, shooting, holding people up, taking hostages, like it's all
kind of
breathing.
Yeah, kind of a James Bond type character in that one.
Oh, but much rougher edge. Yeah, sophisticated, but in a different way. Yeah, hard Scrabble. Great actor.
I can't think all of them off the top of my head, but
in 1987 he did a film called The Couch Trip, where he played a The Couch Trip with Dan Aykroyd. Was that Dan Aykroyd? Yeah, I think it was. Yes, it was Dan Aykroyd. He dressed up as a preacher.
He was very good in Grumpy Old Men.
Oh, of course. That he reprised his whole career in that Grumpy Old Men. What do you want to call it? Trilogy. There were three. Weren't there three films?
Yeah. Well, there was Grumpy Old Men, and there was Grumpier
Old Men, and then I Pooped My Pants.
And I don't know if there was another one. Yeah. The other one he did was Sunshine Boys. Wasn't the Sunshine?
You and Ida must be wired because that came out of her lips just before you said it, and she's washing dishes. Yeah, the Sunshine Boys, brilliant. Of course, that was so special.
He got to do a lot of scenes with
George
real
Burns,
buxom, attractive women.
Well, okay, if you see, here's a good way to put Matthau. With George Burns, like the legendary George Burns is God, right? He played God in with John Denver. So he's ever since then just been considered to be God. And here's Matthau carrying the scene with George Burns, carrying the whole movie with George Burns. He pulled up his part of the bargain there. It's just, it's not everybody who can work with everybody and do so well. And
right. But he can do that when that's his role.
Yeah, and then Jack Lemmon, of course, in The Grumpy Old Men. But even back to The Odd Couple.
Oh, The Odd Couple! How could I forget that?
And then that movie before that, where I think they're working for CBS and the Yankees, and Lemmon has a slip and fall accident, and they try and pass it off in a fake lawsuit.
Oh. What was that one called?
Oh, I can never remember the title of that film. It was 1965, I believe. But
is that called Fortune Cookie?
Yes, The Fortune Cookie. Thank you.
Yeah. I have to see that again, actually. That's a great movie.
This is one of those. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it from start to finish, but over a span of about 50 years, I've seen a few minutes here or there. On afternoon TV when you're flipping by when there's a rain out or a rain delay or a snowstorm or who knows what.
Uh-huh.
Or you're in a hotel room and it comes on and stuff like that.
I saw one recently that you need to see, which is called The Silent Partner. Did you ever see that movie?
No. That's an interesting title.
Yeah, that's it's with Elliot Gould and Christopher Plummer, and you'd like it because it's Canadian.
Okay.
It's set in Toronto.
Yes, I saw it years ago. Yes, I saw that. Yeah, Elliot Gould, Plummer, set in Canada. Yes. Yeah, I can't remember anything about it.
Who else is in that movie?
Karen Black.
John Candy.
John Candy?
John Candy.
Must have been a very young John Candy. Was he skinny back then?
No, he was porky.
Okay.
Yeah, his face was really chubby, and he was pretty lovable and happy and funny. But he wasn't by any means the central focus of the movie. It was about Elliot Gould, was a bank teller.
Yes.
At this bank and
yes.
And the
the
bank gets
now
robbed.
I remember now the bank and he has the girl, the teller.
But
he's driving around town in a TR. Do you see the car, the convertible? See that convertible he's driving around? That's Triumph TR6.
Ah.
Isn't that a nice car? And you can see shots of the CN Tower under construction. Oh, yeah, it's all coming back to me now.
Yeah, I think that's free on YouTube. You can watch that anytime you want.
What's that title again?
Silent Partner.
Silent Partner.
The Silent Partner.
Yeah. Yeah, and then in the end, Plummer's he's in drag. He dresses up as a woman to try and fool Gould, but Gould figures it out just in time.
Yeah. Gould was pretty smart.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
He was a little like the second coming of Walter Matthau, except his humor is more kind of deadpan.
Yeah, Gould's a funny cat to try and place, even in his career. He's done some great films. Catch-22, brilliant.
But he kind of disappeared, didn't he?
Yeah, it's almost like he got blacklisted for a few years after he did The Long Goodbye, which is a fantastic film. He plays like plays a Philip Marlowe character dropped in the early 1970s, but still retaining a lot of the 30s film noir issues. Yeah, he played the detective like a weird man out of time. Just still driving around the old car and marveling at women doing this funny thing called yoga. But then he goes to the supermarket at 2 a.m. to buy his cat some cat food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Smoking as he's walking through the aisles, as I guess you could do back then.
Yeah.
So, were you watching any other college football yesterday?
I watched the Alabama game, of course, because my son is all excited about that, and nice that he can't even conceive that his team would lose.
Boy, he's really going to be in for a shock when, if and when Alabama finally loses a game.
I mean, it's going to happen, but it might not happen this year. Their offense is, they're loaded on offense, and Florida tried to hang in, but they got behind by 2 scores, and they could never fix that situation really. And at the very end, they got the ball back.
Well, they got the ball back. They got the 2-point conversion off the penalty, brought it within 6 points. But yeah, they couldn't get the onside kick, and then that was over. Still made it exciting.
Yeah, they probably should have kicked it deep because those onside kicks just don't work. And they knew they'd get the ball back if they used their timeouts. So, and I think that would have been better, but it was a pretty hopeless situation. So yeah, I saw that one, and then I didn't see the other. There were a few other games, I guess, that you could call important games. I didn't see the Big Ten. Just that kind of sounded like a dogfight in the trenches. which Ohio State was, just had a little more firepower.
In the end, it came down to players making plays. And Ohio State, their players were just that much more talented. But not by much, but just enough to make the plays to beat Northwestern 22-10.
Yeah, I just don't think that. I think they're going to end up playing Clemson, and Clemson's just got a little too much balance, and they're superior in everything, just a tad, and that should be enough for them to win and play Alabama, because I don't think Alabama's going to lose to the number 4 team that gets in there, which everybody's, I guess, arguing about.
What happened to Georgia? Where's University of Georgia at these days?
They lost 2, I think.
Oh.
They lost to Alabama, and then they lost to I think they lost to Florida.
Okay, so that's how Florida moved up the rankings, and that's why Georgia fell, and they're out of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Because, Clemson against Ohio State, it's going to be like Bambi versus Godzilla. It's just not, Clemson's they're in good shape, and they're
I don't think
toleration to lose.
Clemson's going to have much problem with them.
No. And versus Alabama, I think it's like Dabo Sweeney seems to have Crimson Tide's number when he needs it.
I don't know. Crimson, they beat them once, and I think it's like they're actually 1-1 in the championship game against Alabama. So.
Well, he's not going to. I say when he needs it, that doesn't mean every time. Yeah, no, they didn't win it every time, but that's a pretty good record, 1-1. Everybody else is 0 against the Tide. But Dabo's, sometimes he's got it figured out. I think he practices witchcraft. Or that, it's South Carolina, in the Low Country there, getting the Low Country there, and you get some of that something going on out there.
You know who practices witchcraft? Male that practices witchcraft. You know what they're called?
Merlin Olsen.
A warlock.
A warlock.
Called a warlock.
Really? Gee,
You know who's running for in the Senate runoff in Georgia? A guy named Warnock.
Warnock.
Sounds like warlock.
Sure does. Huh. That's a code word, isn't it? Well, speaking of code words, did you hear that the U.S. government got hacked by the Russians over the last 6-7 months?
Yes. That's not supposed to happen.
Massive data leak, and I don't think they were taking Social Security numbers and addresses. I think they were taking the location of nuclear weapons, where warheads were stored at particular times.
Why the hell isn't that in a lockbox or something?
Why is it even on some kind of circuit where anyone from the outside can even plug in? Like why is this wired to the phone system? It shouldn't be. Just disconnect it and I don't. Come on, guys. Why is it? I don't understand. I mean, even I could design a system that isn't that vulnerable. What are these people doing?
I don't know. It's inexcusable. I mean, we didn't have to worry about this shit when we didn't have computers. But now that we have computers, everything's at risk.
Well, we've always had computers. It's now that we have them interwired, everything's at risk. And now we're back to a Terminator situation. You've seen the movie, right?
Oh.
And Skynet.
Well, we didn't have computers. We didn't have computers in 1820.
Oh, you're talking about then.
Yeah, well, we didn't have taxes in 1820 either.
No, that's not true. We had taxes back then. What do you think the revolution was all about?
Well, not income taxes.
No income taxes, as the legend goes, didn't exist until the First World War. I haven't. It's been a long time since I've done the history of that. There must have been some kind of income tax prior to that. No?
I don't think so. I think there was just sales taxes.
Mm-hmm.
You paid for something, and what you paid included the tax.
You're right. It was transaction taxes.
I know they had tax collectors, but not 100% sure what they were collecting. It must have been additional things relating to property that you had. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah, what were tax collector? Yeah, if you weren't collecting income tax, what was the tax collector collecting?
Yeah, I don't know.
Duties, import duties?
But what's a tax collector?
Yes, but we digress.
I thought this was
I did.
Sorry,
I did send you.
Sports.
The other thing that I noticed was that Michigan's game got canceled again. I think they don't want Jim Harbaugh to. He's too high strung. I think it's not a good idea for him to lose any more games this year. So they might as well just call it a COVID excuse, and they canceled the Iowa game. Like another one got canceled. So you could play his meltdown clip. I sent you that.
Yeah.
Or you could play the interview with Colin Cowherd. The worst interview I've ever heard, pretty much.
Well, why don't I start with the meltdown one? And, of course, it's taking me a moment to find it here. Oh, there's OJ. There's Bill Walton. Just further things coming up here. We got Joe Namath on talking. We got some Frank Caliendo. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
This clip's 333, the top 10 Harbaugh temper tantrums here on the Chab Dog Sports Talk Radio Show.
Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh gets pretty animated on the football field. So we here at Wolverine TV are going to take you through his top 10 temper tantrums. Number 10. Take you to Jim Harbaugh's lone Super Bowl. After 4th and goal, unable to convert, Harbaugh's begging for a holding call to get another chance. Take a look, just going over and over, begging for that holding call, but he wouldn't get it as he would lose to his brother. Number 9, same playoff series, Harbaugh stomping his feet around like a little child. Maybe he should spend some free time taking some tap dancing classes. Number 8. Jim Harbaugh is taking on his arch rival from college and USC coach Pete Carroll in a battle between the 49ers and the Seahawks. Even though the 49ers got a stop on 4th and 6, Carlos Rogers was called with a personal foul. Harbaugh is flabbergasted.
Oh, he's jumping up and down.
He still had the ball after the penalty.
He's going nuts. You should look on his face.
Having a shit.
Number
khaki.
7.
Yeah, in khakis,
Michigan
of course.
taking on the 13th ranked Northwestern Wildcats and currently up 31-0 at the time, on the verge of shutting out their 3rd straight opponent and 2nd in the Big Ten. Still, Harbaugh's complaining about a call, trying to get intentional grounder or something. 31-0, still not enough for Harbaugh. Number 6. Back to Super Bowl 47, Harbaugh throwing his arms up in the air, including his pens, headset, play sheet, pretty much anything that he was holding at the time. Number 5. San Francisco 49ers taking on the Detroit Lions after a 25-19 win. Harbaugh goes to shake former head coach Jim Schwartz's hand. I guess he was a little too aggressive, as Schwartz did not take it kindly, trying to fight him after the game. Needed to be separated by players and refs. Number 4. Opening game of the 2012-2013 season, Harbaugh goes a little rabid on the sideline. Number 3. Harbaugh's first home game as a Michigan head coach. Not happy over a roughing the kicker call, having to explain his case by showing the refs what he means. Not happy on the sideline, still not giving up, following the refs, even throwing his papers here on the sideline. Number 2. NFC title game between the 49ers and the Falcons. After this call that didn't go Harbaugh's way, he hits the ground, throwing everything, and his arms could become out of control. Quite a sight to see. Take another look here. And at number 1, we take you to this past weekend's game against Penn State. After a pass interference call against Jabril Peppers, Harbaugh's not happy, taking off all his clothing, taking off his jacket, his headset, and just yelling in the refs' ear. Even though it was 30 degrees on this day, it didn't seem to bother Harbaugh, taking off almost every layer he had.
I mean, it's not quite full retard, but he's getting there.
Yeah. And then there was that interview with Cowherd, which was just it was just like pulling, get him to say anything.
It starts off good enough.
I've only met Jim Harbaugh once or twice. He's very intense, but I like intense. Most of my friends are intense. I'm kind of intense.
He's my buddy.
And he's a head
great
football
buddy.
coach at Michigan, and people have to be realistic about this. He didn't get a huge class last year because he came in a little late. So you have never forget, Pete Carroll was 6-6 his first year at USC.
2015. This is
you can't turn
5 years
stuff
ago,
around
too.
overnight. Let's not be unrealistic here. But will he turn it around? Oh, absolutely. Michigan's a traditional power.
Oh,
He
absolutely.
can recruit.
Yeah,
He knows
absolutely.
Well, he's gonna
quarterbacks,
turn it
and that
around, all
drives
right.
the sport. Jim Harbaugh's joining us. When are you at your least intense? Because you are a pretty intense guy.
Well, good morning, Colin. How are you?
I'm great, Coach. How are good
Good to hear your voice.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, he's
Is there
lying.
ever a moment
His first
in the day
lie.
you're like, oh, man, I'm cupcake. I'm soft. I'm easy. When's the part of the day that you are just like, you're a pushover?
I don't know. I guess I don't know. Maybe ask Sarah, my wife. I don't know.
Yeah. When you go to Michigan and you take over a
I don't
program
know.
and
I
you're
don't know.
starting out, like when you're flying there and you're flying there to take the gig, do you have a yellow pad and you're like, okay, I'm going to do this, this, this? Like, what was the first thing you changed at Michigan?
My underwear.
I don't know what that the very first thing that was changed. Maybe altered, but it's just a conversation at a time. You get to work, and I remember that first day press conference, and then we got to work hiring the staff, recruiting players, recruiting players that were already on the roster. One conversation at a time. That's how you get to know people.
Yeah. I watch you on Instagram and I watch you on
Maybe
Twitter.
he's on
You're
mushrooms,
very much
Did anyone
into
think
the
he might have taken
community.
some mushrooms
It's
before
like
he did this interview?
And not that you weren't everywhere else, but it does feel
Quaaludes?
different at Michigan
Quaaludes?
because of your history.
Yeah,
there. It
Quaaludes.
does for me. When I watch you, you really seem to be all in.
Yeah, I would agree.
Mm-hmm.
Can't disagree with that.
What do you think? 'Cause Jim, I didn't think you'd go to
Yeah.
Michigan.
Mushrooms.
What was the day like you decided? Where were you?
Yeah, Cypress Hill.
I don't know if there was a day or a place or a time. Just was.
It's very metaphysical.
What I felt in my heart was what I wanted to do. I love Michigan. I love football. I love coaching football. So feel very blessed. I guess I have an attitude of gratitude that I'm able to be a part of this
Praise that
game
Lord.
and be a part of this great university.
Mm-hmm.
What are realistic expectations?
Jesus. Playing for Jesus.
Realistic expectations are that we're going to be better today than we were yesterday, be better tomorrow than we were today. That's our plan for success. So simple, it just might work.
Yeah. Well, wait.
Yeah.
College football coaches,
Yeah,
NFL
maybe.
coaches, Jim, I don't know the difference hours-wise. Is your day that much different, college to pro?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much different. There's more similarities than there are differences, actually, Colin.
Like how? I mean, you get in early, you leave late. It's the same.
Yeah, that would be a similarity.
I said
coaching football.
Oh, what an
building a team. Same, more similarities than differences, I would say.
Future of the Big Ten. You're at Michigan. Urban Meyer at Ohio State. James Franklin. When I look at these coaches, I say elite recruiters, elite coaches. I said this yesterday. The Big Ten feels like it's a buy for me. Like, do you have a sense of that and a feel for the conference overall?
The Big Ten feels like a buy to you.
Buy.
Yeah, it
that's
does,
where it goes
because
off
it
the rails.
Oh,
You don't see that?
no, I don't. Yeah, explain that to me. I don't
Well, because
understand
the bottom
Buy.
line.
Buy.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Michigan's a heavyweight. Ohio State's a heavyweight. They now both have great coaches. It feels like the Big Ten is on the come. It feels like there's momentum in the conference that I didn't
On
feel.
the come.
Buy, like something to buy
Yeah,
as
just
opposed
stop.
to sell.
Yes.
Oh, I thought buy week or
Yeah,
buy
No,
that's
no,
what I was
no.
thinking.
like a buy.
Yeah. That's what it
Yeah, that's
feels
what I
like to
thought.
me. Does it feel like that to you?
It feels very competitive to me.
Mm-hmm.
At the highest level of college football.
Season opens September 3rd at Utah. Coach, when do you put in a game plan? How does it work?
It's a process. It's been going on for months and will continue over the next 2 months.
You're not a rear view mirror guy. It doesn't seem like you're kind of forge your way, go get stuff.
This feels like one of those where you ask like 50 questions on a.
Well, you're giving me slow. You're not giving me a ton to work with, Coach. So I just want to find something out about Jim Harbaugh, the human being.
Okay.
I want to find out about Jim Harbaugh. I'm a player right now, and I want to play for a bunch of schools. I'm listening to Jim Harbaugh. I want to play for Jim.
Now it's really going off the rails.
Well, I mean,
Do you have any eligibility, Colin?
No, and I can't play worth a damn. But I'm saying is I'm trying to I want Jim Harbaugh, the guy. Because I bring all these coaches on, and I want the guy. I mean, what? I'm a 4-3 wide receiver. Why should I play at Michigan?
You are?
No, if I was.
Harbaugh's reaching for his Zantac right now.
This seems
really
terribly difficult, Jim. For you. This is just not work. I love you to death, I really do, but it seems like we're going nowhere with this. And I love you. I'm a huge Harbaugh fan.
What can I do to make your interview better?
You can't. I'm just asking open-ended questions, and you have not much to say. I want you to sell your program. That's why I bring Urban on, and I bring Steve Sark. I love you guys. I want you to sell your program. Listen, I love
sell it.
you.
Like
It's
a
not
used
working.
car salesman. Sell it.
I appreciate you stopping by, Jim Harbaugh. I've been in the business 10 years, folks. That was a clunker. There's not much I can do about that. I tried. I asked every open-ended question.
He just hung up on him because he's not even there at the end of the call.
I don't know who hung up on who, though. Did Colin hang up on him, or was it the other way around?
I think Harbaugh hung up on him because it's like, you just gotta keep asking these questions, and then,
Harbaugh, he gave him absolutely nothing to work with. He didn't exert any. He didn't make any attempt to inject life into that interview.
No, but then Cowherd started to panic and then started asking a bunch of non sequitur questions, and it was getting really scattered. To which Harbaugh pointed out and said, "Dude, you're just shotgunning questions at me that don't, are unconnected and really don't make much, aren't well worded and don't make much sense. And you're trying to have a top interview with me. It's
I think he didn't realize what he was getting into with that interview. This is the way Harbaugh is. He's kind of psychotic, and he goes from being crazy and hyper to being, kind of catatonic.
Well, but so does Cowherd. So the two of them, they don't get along too well when they have to play, do they? He's got a couple of egos there.
I didn't feel like Cowherd was getting much love back from him. He just
no. But now when I listen to it again, the more I hear it, the more I think I get more sympathy for Harbaugh. And he's clearly on mushrooms or something, especially in the beginning of that call.
Yeah, he must be on some serious medication to
Black
keep him
Beauties or
going off.
What's that, Quaaludes?
But I don't know how much longer he can survive there.
So Chab Dog,
Michigan is in.
We have Brian has joined the call.
Oh, okay. Well, great to have you on, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing all right, gentlemen. Doing fine.
Yeah, you just missed our Jim Harbaugh segment where we played his meltdowns and that interview with Colin Cowherd. That was one of the worst things I've ever heard in terms of a sports interview. Eric, I don't know.
Yeah. Harbaugh is something. So was Colin, by the way. But
yeah. Colin is Colin, and But you usually try to kind of. If somebody takes the trouble to interview you, usually you try to act interested. I don't know. It was funny. But those games, his games are now, I guess Michigan's done for the year, and 2 wins. That's as many wins as Rutgers had. That's something to really be proud of.
Yeah, it seems like that situation there just got bad and went worse, and then got even worse.
So,
I got you guys on
do you have
the
any
line
thoughts
here.
about any of the college football yesterday, and/or what the BCS playoff should look like?
And then we need to do our picks, gentlemen.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of had a soft spot for Notre Dame there, but I guess it's going to be.
What happened yesterday? What do you think?
Well, looks like Notre Dame is still in, so A&M is missed it by that much.
They're on,
So Notre Dame's in, Clemson's in, Alabama, and Ohio State, I guess.
I mean, I think most of the conventional wisdom is Notre Dame is still in the playoff, but I don't feel good about that. They don't seem like they even have a chance now.
Would you rather put Cincinnati?
Yeah, and there's certainly an argument for A&M. But the thing was, Notre Dame was already sitting at number 2. Whether they deserved it or not, it's another story. But there's no way I've seen they can drop a team that was number 2 all the way down to 5 out of the bubble. Even
because they got blown out by a good the team that's now number 2.
Yeah. So that kept them in the top 4, I'm sure.
I think that win that they had, that win that they had against Clemson earlier in the year kind of did it for them.
Yeah, that certainly helped. The one team that's probably, we know, they have a decent shot, but least deserving is Ohio State. Just playing that wimpy schedule, 6 games, doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, I know, but it is what it is.
Well, Brian?
Yeah, it is what it is.
Brian, who was wimpier, Ohio State or USC for schedule?
USC lost.
I know. we know.
Yeah, USC had a weak schedule too, and then they blew the conference game.
Yeah, just a little.
I think Oregon there just exposed them for the fraud that they turned out to be.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, but whatever.
Yep.
Even if they won, they wouldn't have been going anywhere. I heard that they even declined any bowl invitations too.
Yeah, a whole bunch of the teams in the pack, 50,000 have declined now, so we're just down to a few teams. In fact, the Rose Bowl is going to be played in Texas.
Yeah, heck, Oregon wasn't even supposed to be in that game, wasn't it? Washington.
Yeah, Washington's supposed to be. Washington's declining any bowl bids. USC is declining bowl bids.
The Rose Bowl is in Texas now.
The Rose Bowl's in Texas.
Yeah, the Rose Bowl's in Texas. Yep, the Rose Bowl's done.
Because we somehow
so they can accommodate fans.
Yeah, we can do film productions, but we haven't figured out how to do a sports production out of an empty stadium. It's just beyond them.
I try to figure out. Well, I guess economics. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how all this other stuff been happening, and yet the Rams and Chargers are managing to play.
Yeah, I know. It's inconsistent, isn't it? I don't get that either.
Yeah, well, they play an empty. I guess the bottom line is they don't want to play the Rose Bowl in an empty stadium. Is that basically it?
Oh,
I'm not sure what it is. I don't think they wanted to deal with the whole COVID situation or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like turning their back on California.
I don't know if I understand it either, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, we should probably get to our picks. We haven't even looked at the games today. There's some important games out there.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about
see what we
last
got.
3 games in the next hour, but let's look up today's.
Got it right here.
Coming up here in 11 minutes, we have Houston at Indianapolis, and Houston opened up Indianapolis opened up 7-point favorite over Houston.
I've got the Colts.
You take Colts minus 7.
I mean, how can I? Eric, you always have these things psychoanalyzed, though. It's an AFC Central game, right?
It's a division game.
Or AFC
South. Yeah, Indy already got their win against Houston, and seldom does one team swap the other, sweep the other. So it's Houston's turn to win this game, or at least keep it close. I'm taking Houston plus a 7.
The ultimate contrarian.
That 7 might be good, but Houston has been disappointing. I still take the Colts, even the 7.
Yeah, let's look at what happened to the Texans last week. They laid a big egg, didn't they?
I believe so.
They lost to the Bears, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, Bears killed them 36-7.
Triumphant return of Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, Trubisky got his job back, I guess.
Yeah, I can't go against my good sense and think that the Texans are going to continue to, wet the bed, and they're just their season's done. So I would go with the Colts, even if it's over 7. I think they'll win by 10.
Okay,
Eric, I know you're going the other way.
Colts are home for what it's worth too.
Yep, the Colts are home, and Philip Rivers is currently fathering another child as we speak. Next up, we've got the Detroit Lions are visiting the Tennessee Titans.
Fertile Phillip.
Yeah. Titans are an 11-point home favorite over the hapless Detroit Lions, who are coachless. I hear Matt Stafford's not even going to play today. He's probably on the trading block. Just a mess in Detroit, but they're only 11-point dogs.
Yeah, Titans. Titans.
I like
a
the
lot
Titans,
of points, man.
Yeah, but Titans.
A lot of points, though. Yeah, but I think they'll even beat that.
Lions did the backdoor cover last week against the Packers.
Correct.
And you guys, Eric was laughing at that.
Lions always played well in their division.
Yep.
But this is not their division, so
they
should get slaughtered.
Could be.
Yeah, let's feed the Lions to the Titans and go with the Titans.
Yeah, I'm on the Titan bandwagon. How about you, Brian?
Titans, yeah.
Yeah. Who beat the Jaguars last
Derrick
week.
Henry is the man.
Yeah, they covered the spread last week, 31-10 over Jacksonville, and I think Detroit's about
I ended up going 8-8 last week, by the way.
Oh.
That's my first 500.
That's a good 500 week. That's two better than me.
First non-winning week.
How embarrassing.
Well, there was a lot of weird ones there. The Saints lost, the Steelers lost, the Browns lost.
All right, well, we'll get to that Saints in a second. What about what's the next game, Eric? 49ers, Cowboys?
Tampa Bay at Atlanta.
Oh.
And Tampa Bay's a 6-point favorite. Now, these are divisional teams, but, gentlemen, this is the first time they're playing today, and then 2 weeks from today they're going to play the final game of the year against each other as well. So these teams have not matched up yet with Tom Brady. And it is a divisional game. So Tampa Bay's a 6-point favorite. They're in Atlanta. It's, I don't know, how do you...
Atlanta's playing tough, but I'm going to go with the Bucks.
6 points.
I don't know about that 6. I don't know about that 6 points.
Yeah, six.
I don't like that. I'm going to go with the Falcons to do the
backdoor cover
to beat that spread.
Yeah, I like the Falcons to beat that spread too.
I mean, they're the Falcons.
Yeah, I like the Falcons with the spread, but I'll take the Bucks to win. Yeah.
Yeah, Bucks to win.
Yeah, I agree. I think Bucks will win.
Which means we're taking Atlanta, but yeah. But it's really, we're talking backdoor cover here. Then next up we have Jacksonville. The hapless 1-12 Jaguars are in Baltimore, laying 13 points.
You never know about the Ravens, but they're going to win that one.
Yeah,
they're up and down.
That was an exhausting game they played on Monday night there, and a great game too.
Oh God, that thing was incredible. That was just amazing.
Best game of the year, best game in recent times. You know, it's wow.
Yeah, my Ravens did the Steelers a favor there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take Baltimore minus 13. No problem there. Next up is a game near and dear to Frank Fleming's heart. The Miami Dolphins at home against the New England Patriots. Miami. 2-point favorite. Yeah, I'm all over Miami there.
Yeah.
How about you, Chab Dog?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Dolphins. I think they're going to be very up for this game. They love beating the Patriots in Miami, and they really need to win this to stay well positioned for the playoffs. And Patriots, I don't know why. I think the Patriots are getting a little too much respect here. They're only a 2-point dog.
Yes, Patriots are a 2-point dog here. On the road.
Yeah.
That's because it's New England, I guess. But, yeah, Dolphins, no problem.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Cam doesn't have the weapons.
This is a divisional matchup. They've already met before. When they met before, New England won back in September. This is the game that traditionally Miami always wins anyway. They won it last year.
Yeah.
They won it the year before. Yeah, when Tom Brady's going to the Super Bowl, this was the game that they were dropping, at the very least in the points anyway, against the spread. So I'm taking Miami. I think I'm taking Miami to win outright.
Yeah, maybe if we're lucky, we'll see a hook. We saw. Remember that play they ran to win the game in Miami? It was 2 years ago, I think, where they lateraled the ball all over the place and got the touchdown.
Yes. Yeah, that's the kind of
I'll never
stuff
forget
that goes on.
what's so beautiful watching Gronk trip on himself trying to tackle that guy.
Yeah.
At the end.
Didn't even have a chance. Next up, we got another divisional game. The resurgent 6-7 Chicago Bears are in Minnesota. Minnesota is a 3-point home favorite.
I got a sentimental Vikings pick.
Yeah.
That's a very disappointing team there, but yeah, I got to go with my Vikings.
Yeah. They're both 6-7, so it's flip a coin. I'm going to go with Chicago had a hot hand last week. Maybe they'll have a hot hand again this week. I'll take Chicago +3.
You sound really inspired by that, huh?
No.
He's just afraid to say Mitch.
Yeah.
He sounds about as excited as Jim Harbaugh talking to Colin Cowherd.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I'm torn on this one. It could go either way. I guess I'm going to go with the Vikings, but it could well be a 2-point or 1-point win.
Okay.
And I'm sure that Robbie Gould will probably kick a field goal to win it.
Uh-huh.
But anyway.
So look at this conjunction, gentlemen. So there's the Chicago-Minnesota game. Chicago 6-7, Minnesota 6-7. Then the next matchup is Washington 6-7 against Seattle 9-4. Seattle a 5.5-point favorite.
At Washington.
At Washington.
I'm going with my no names.
Wow.
Seattle seems a bit out of sync, and it is my team, so. And they're looking for playoffs. They're looking for playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Does Washington have Alex Smith playing quarterback, or do they have Dwayne Haskins?
I believe it's Haskins.
Haskins going to be playing. Yeah.
I believe Smith is available.
What happened?
That's the only gun. That's the bummer.
He's got a hamstring injury.
What happened to Alex Smith?
Hamstring injury.
Ah.
Yep.
He's
so sorry,
better
Charlie.
than that.
So sorry. So very sorry.
Yeah, that's a bummer, and I'll probably lose, but I'm going to stick with Washington.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't like going with Haskins.
No, neither do I.
But I don't think Seattle should win that game by 6 points. I'm going to go with Washington and beat that spread.
Yeah, at least they should beat the spread.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd go there.
Okay.
What do you think, Eric?
The muckracker in me wants to see Washington, even it up at 7-7. But the sensible in me says, no, Seattle's been playing inconsistently lately, and Washington's the kind of team that they can tune up on to pick up a win and go 10-4. So I got to take Seattle, and they'll win by, if they're going to win, they'll win by more than a touchdown. So pulling away at the end. But next up, we have San Francisco at Dallas. 5-8 San Francisco at 4-9 Dallas. San Francisco a 3-point favorite in the
what a stinker! What a stinker
Mr.
game!
Irrelevant Bowl here, San Francisco versus Dallas. Once a very wonderful game, now reduced to this.
Yeah, so they had to spit up in my mouth and say Cowboys.
I flipped the coin and took San Francisco.
Really
How about you, Chad?
Enough to make you want to throw up picking the Cowboys.
I hope they lose, but I don't think they will.
Because San Francisco doesn't have much, do they, on offense?
Garoppolo's gone for the rest of the year, as I understand.
Yeah, offense is a bit weak. That defense, they get decimated with injuries and COVID, I guess.
Yeah, but then it's Dallas. It's the Cowboys. I mean,
I know it's Dallas.
What's their excuse?
You don't necessarily bet Dallas to
I don't care, man. Dallas is
win, but maybe not lose.
They're going to probably win just to spite me if I pick the 49ers. So I think I'm going to go with Dallas.
All right. That rounds out our morning slot of games.
They've got that talent and everything. They should be. So, yeah.
And they got Dandy Andy Dalton, right?
Yeah, the redheaded stepchild. Former Miss
All right, well,
Cincinnati.
we got through the 10 o'clock game, so now we just got to watch them, and we'll talk about the 1 o'clock games and assorted other topics of interest on the other side, okay?
Sounds good.
That sounds fantastic.
And Eric, what do you want to play on the break?
Yeah, hit Frank Caliendo impersonates popular NFL figures for 4 minutes
Yes,
and 56
let's do
seconds
that.
after we do the ad here. On the Chap Dog Sports Talk Radio Show, stick around for the second half coming right up after we pay
Get ready
these
for your
bills.
football. It's coming up.
We're told that greatness is exceptional, when it should be expected. You choose every day to live your life intentionally, without apology for how bright your light may shine. So go be great. Go be brilliant. Go be you. Go defy life. The Defy Life movement is one that speaks to each of us in its own way. Defy Life gear speaks to us all by reminding us that one size does not fit all. Visit defylifegear.com to get fitted for greatness.
The law office of Brandon S. Chabner, serving clients in Southern California with transactional legal services since 2007. We handle general, corporate, outside counsel type work, drafting and negotiating a wide variety of business and commercial contracts, including non-disclosure agreements, independent contractor agreements, and employment agreements. Our experience includes working with public and private companies and involves a broad range of industries, including healthcare, consumer products, real estate, and high technology. Mr. Chabner has over 20 years of legal experience, having worked for some larger national firms and serving as general counsel for a multi-million-dollar private company here in Southern California before starting his own legal practice. His educational credentials include a law degree from UCLA, where he was on law review, undergraduate degree at Yale, where he graduated magna cum laude, and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Other areas of focus for Chabner Law include press release and business plan editing, pre-litigation matters, and debt and mortgage resolution work. You can contact us at 310-698-0740 and at bchabner@chabnerlaw.com.
Like Chab Dog said, he was 100% right.
He can take all comers.
Have you noticed how he is like openly recruiting Bill Belichick? It's not just Eddie, coach. It's Bill Belichick came in here, and not to say that we want Bill Belichick to be our coach, but he could be our coach. Well, we won't get rid of Jason Garrett. Will be in the NFL somewhere.
Where, Mr. Jones? Where?
Well, he will be somewhere. Remember that Mouse Fievel?
Yes. Fievel's Mouse.
This is the only show where people would get that reference.
American Tail.
You guys want American Tail with
All right,
me.
let's go for one of the younger coaches, Sean McVay. And to jog your memory, not that you need it, here's a quick clip of Sean McVay just to get it going.
How fast is Brandon Cooks?
Oh my God, wait till you see this. The one that he caught up this time.
Was that awesome? How about how fast Cooks looked on that strike? How about how fast Cooks is?
Oh, that is
Was that
so
awesome?
much fun. That's fun to watch.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, there's a weird thing where you start with Gruden and work backwards. Gruden starts there, and Sean McVay's got a little bit of that. He gets a little bit of a rasp going on there, and we take care of it. I remember 1987. There was a play being run in my flag football game. We had kind of a pick play. It was league, but and you got to have a little bit of the eyes. It's not full on Adam Gase, but it's in here. Like my eyes can penetrate your soul. Because Gruden will do this, and McVay will open up.
Down and up.
Yeah, Gruden's here. That's a big difference. We just worked it out on Good Morning Football, man. There it is. So you Gruden here, open it up. Sean McVay, awesome. And then really groom your beard well.
Oh yeah.
All right, Nate's crying.
We watch these games every weekend, and we almost hear the voices of the announcers end up becoming the voices of these games. I hear you've been working on a little Tony Romo.
Yeah, Romo's a difficult one. I didn't even think of what to. One of my co-hosts on the podcast, Scott Long, and John Holmberg is the other host. We all started working on Romo together. Scott actually sounds kind of like him. So I started working on it at the beginning, and sometimes I had to go in with a little bit of Nance. And he's like, my pal, Tony Romo. He's like, I got to be honest with Jim, this is an incredible play. It's amazing what's going on. I've actually gone 7 seconds into the future. I'm going to come back and tell you what just happened. Here we go, Jim. That's a Holmberg right there. Here we go, Jim. Oh, gee, God, did you see? Like he's almost doing like Morse code. He's like, you're not going to believe what's just about to happen here. It's an incredible play. It says something if I could do what Tom Brady just did, I would not be here right now. And you have to have a smile. You have to be going through a smile the entire time. That's the thing that makes the Romo finally work. It's just because Tony looks like he's just heard a great joke, or like he knows something about you that he can't tell you. He's like, oh, I got secrets about you.
It's so true.
It's just. If I could just say some of the stuff I'm thinking right now, there's just some stuff that would destroy your career. Unbelievable. This is so much fun. I just love that I don't have to get hit anymore.
Oh my God.
I want to ask you to impersonate somebody from our NFL Network family. Lots to choose from, lots of great impressionable voices. But here's Ian Rappaport, our NFL Network insider. Here's a quick sample. It's a report he did just yesterday. Take a look.
These are the types of things that David Tepper is looking for, and he now gets a full month to go ahead to look at some candidates, to contact people, maybe even interview people who are not employed.
The funny thing is that it's almost Adam Schefter with a cold. That's the weird thing. That why does every NFL insider in the entire world have the same cadence and talk the same way? I'm just making sure that I'm not getting in any trouble by making sure that I point out that these are reliable sources that have all confirmed with each other at some point, at some time, hopefully lining up today. And that's just the way it is.
All right.
Woo!
Back to the boot chance. We're ready to go.
Yeah. All right, so can we get a little John Madden?
Yeah,
John Madden.
Let's go.
I mean, that's one of those things where you think about, is he going to do it?
There we go.
Isn't he going to do it? And then, I mean, he ends up doing it. Look, can you imagine me and Tony Romo?
I got to believe that's incredible. How do you get all that turkey with all those different legs? If I had a turkey with that many legs, I'd be full at the beginning of the sentence. That's what all impressions just turn into sounds. So like, I'll tell you what, man. Sounds like that clap from Cade means we got to go to commercial. I felt what that was. I got to be honest with you. We're not going to commercial yet.
All right, we're back.
I'm asking you to make a donation right now to help flip Georgia and the Senate. Reverend Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff need our help more than ever before to win these critical runoff elections in Georgia that will determine control of the Senate. We know that these races will come down to a few thousand votes, so we need every resource we can get in order to drive a historic grassroots voter turnout effort in Georgia.
Historic.
This is a rare opportunity to win 2 Senate seats.
First we change Georgia, then we change America.
So please make a donation to flip Georgia and the Senate.
Yep. We need you.
Is that a public service announcement for our listeners?
From Stacy herself.
Here's the story on the college football. They got Notre Dame, Clemson, and Ohio State, and Alabama.
Yeah.
So I'm going Clemson all the way.
Is that official now?
Yeah,
is that official? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Aggies ended up number 5. Pissed off Aggies, 8-1. It's the first time a one-loss SEC team has ever been left out.
Yeah, well, it's a short season, so things like that can happen.
Yeah. But what I was going to say here. Oh, yeah, the Crimson Tide Fighting Irish played the Rose Bowl, but not California. It's moved. Reasons: growing number of COVID cases, Southern California, and inability of the players and the coaches' families to attend because of the restrictions.
Ah.
Yeah.
Couldn't get a waiver.
Tide and Tigers are favorites, of course, opening up for the first round semifinals. Of course, Alabama's favorite to go all the way, but I think Clemson. I'm taking Clemson all the way.
I have to think about it. I think it's going to be very tough. Those two teams are very close, I think.
Yeah.
I have to think about it. Does it say who the favorite is? Even though the Tide is number 1, I'm sure, but are they the favorite to win the whole thing?
I didn't see that listed there. There's 17.5 favorites to win Notre Dame.
Yeah, they'll wipe Notre Dame out, I think.
Clemson's 6.5 over Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess they haven't put a favorite. Well, at least the article I'm looking at. You can assume Alabama's going to be the favorite.
I would think so. All right, well, Dallas is moving the ball here. I'm watching that. They're on the Frisco 5-yard line or something, so they're about to score.
What an abomination that this is the game that we have to watch here in L.A. Like this.
Yeah.
That's it, you know.
Can you believe it?
I know.
Atlanta is beating Tampa Bay 7-0, so that's kind of looking good for the. I know I was picking Atlanta to at least beat the spread, and Tennessee is up on Detroit 7-0. No surprise there. Touchdown Dallas! Touchdown, baby! Or no, he's on the 1-yard line. I thought he got in, but it's a matter of time, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Brian, what do you want to talk about? One thing that Eric mentioned, which I don't know if you're aware of, but they apparently have decided to include the Negro League statistics now in the official baseball statistics. Did you?
Yeah, that was. That's a great thing. I think that's a great thing. I don't know how much it'll affect any standings or records or anything. Most of those guys were playing like 30, 40 games a year. Not a whole lot of big numbers coming out.
Didn't Josh Gibson have a lot of home runs, like 800 or something?
I haven't investigated that. I haven't looked into that.
Satchel Paige had a lot of wins.
Yeah, their statistics are really all over the charts too, because it depends on the source. So I'm sure they're going to sit down and figure out what's the official statistics are going to be from the Negro Leagues. Yeah, because they had a lot of barnstorming teams and kind of semi-pro and all kinds of weird stuff there. Because I was looking at some guy's statistics where he batted. Claimed he batted like 371 in one book, and then it's got him at 317 in another, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So inconsistencies that kind of make you a little bit uneasy about the validity of the underlying statistics.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about it. It's just like I said, I've seen different numbers in different sources, and some of their stats.
Yeah. Well, it's just going to make life a little more complicated and difficult for people like you and me that try to keep track of this crap in our heads, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Like I'm gonna have to at some point check this out and see now. Okay, who is in the top 5 in doubles and home runs and triples? Because I have it in my brain already based on what's in there. And if
I don't know what. For example, I don't know what Hank Aaron did. He played a couple of years in there, and that was.
And he did?
I think so.
Really? Jackie
The
Robinson,
Clowns,
maybe?
I think. Oh, yeah, Robinson.
And Satchel Paige, I mean, he had a lot of wins anyway. But if you include his Negro League career, that's going to definitely move him up. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. So, Robinson's a good one to bring up because he won a batting title there in the Negro Leagues. Uh-huh.
So maybe that gives him another bat, or gives him a batting title. I don't know if he ever won one.
Hey, here's a question.
I'll have to look at that.
Did any white players or Asian players or any non-black players ever play in the Negro League?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I doubt it.
You never know.
That's an interesting question.
Or maybe a homosexual, an openly homosexual player.
They did play some exhibition games against major league teams sometimes. Yeah. But those are exhibitions, so.
No, Eric. The homosexual players were in the homosexual league.
The LGBT league.
Uh-huh.
Are these for us?
Yeah.
The spoils of victory.
8 o'clock in this evening.
Excuse me?
Our destination.
Oh, okay.
Where are you two going?
To the Bob Dylan.
To the Bob Dylan.
Interesting.
Peggy and Kurt in the village. Oh, my.
Village.
Oh, don't be shy. I think you two are adorable.
What is with this? You think Peggy and I?
We do.
I'm homosexual.
Yeah. The homosexual
I don't
league.
think that means what you think it means.
Kurt. No. I make love with the men, not the woman.
Yeah, it's the village.
Huh.
Duh.
What?
Yeah.
What's this here? Budging shortstop Hank Aaron.
Of course.
You player in the Northern League, hitting .336 with 9 home runs in 87 games. Following season, he played with Jacksonville in the Sally League. .362, 208 hits, 115 runs, 125 RBIs, 36 doubles. Ooh.
That was a serious season he had there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is good. Listen to this.
He's
playing
from
the
Europe.
clip?
It's different there. More for me.
So Kurt is a pervert. How about that?
You certainly had me fooled. Mr. Cosgrove, do you want me to invite the girls in?
I knew queers existed.
I knew queers
just don't want to work with them.
What? He's the first homo you ever met in advertising?
This is 1960.
You think Smitty's in love? Which bathroom does he use?
Which bathroom does he use? Yeah, I don't think anyone in the 1950s was talking that way, but still.
Oh, come on.
Here's Josh Gibson. Finally recognizing, but Josh Gibson won't become the official home run king. One of the greatest players ever, but it doesn't appear he had 763 official home runs.
Official? Oh, how many official did he have?
Let me see.
He had a lot.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. Gibson actually went deep around 900 times, but that doesn't mean every one will count toward his official total.
How the hell are they going to know which ones to count?
I know. He has 238 officially recognized by the major leagues at this point.
You know what? I don't care. It's just we didn't. I have no idea what the standards are they're using, but it seemed like he had way more than 230.
Do they count his numbers?
There's what the problem is the barnstorming games.
Yeah.
Oh, from the homosexual
they
league,
don't want to count anything that wasn't an official Negro League game or something?
They got to count the homosexual league games, too. Because they came out of the closet, Greenwich Village. Jim, I've noticed a really weird thing going on here. I take it you're both watching the game as well. Are you on the CBS channel or the Fox channel? Because I'm on the CBS
channel.
Yeah.
There's nothing on the Fox channel.
This is an NFC team, NFC matchup. So what the heck is CBS carrying an NFC matchup for?
I don't know why they're doing that now. I noticed that too. They're kind of
why the hell are we watching the crappy Cowboys against sullen Nick Mullins and the dead to rights 49ers, for God's sake?
I know. We should be watching Miami and New England right now.
The 49ers are in our time zone, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Somebody thought that we were dying to see the 49ers. My God.
California football.
We just get screwed right and left on these games.
Official Negro Leagues, Gibson has a 365 batting average, a 449 on base percentage, and a 690 slugging percentage.
Oh.
Which Ruth was 342, 474, and also 690.
Yeah. Josh Gibson was a beast. He really was. How many hits did he have?
Yeah, didn't see that listed here. Yeah. Again, that's probably going to be under review because they can't even figure out the home runs.
I mean, I guess it's worth it, but it just seems a little bit. I don't know what the word is, but is it really worth it if they have to discount all these games? Like, how many games are we talking about?
Yeah, I know. That's the difficult part of it there. Like I said, I didn't expect any major changes in totals, but and whether or not they'll count Aaron's brief period.
Here's a question for you, gentlemen. So it's been posed that the exclusion of these numbers till now has been in some form a racist gesture or a racist intent. But could it also be the truth that the reluctance to include these numbers is the fact that there is such discrepancies in the numbers? And that there weren't from other sources?
Yeah,
they're just trying to be consistent on what they were going to allow?
I don't see any racism involved at all. It was a different league, and... Well, there's even baseball stats out there that sometimes don't include those players' leagues and those oddball leagues that popped up in the late 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
Don't recognize sometimes.
Abner Doubleday was two-time.
Well, the only thing that I care about is the baseball encyclopedia. That's what I look at.
Well,
and
your book's about to go out of date. You're going to have to buy a new one, Chad Dog.
Yeah, the encyclopedia is good. So, but the almanac is a neat one, and that one you've been sharing, the baseball references, is all right.
Yeah, I usually look at that actually. Well, the NBA they don't include the ABA figures, do they?
I think they do.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't know that. And what about the NFL? Do they have the AFL was before it merged?
Yeah, they put the AFL numbers in there too. Yeah, they put the AFL numbers included.
But no WFL.
Yeah,
No WFLs, no USFLs.
No.
Right. Well, Dallas looks like it's got some life. They're driving again, and up 7-0. So, Eric, did you pick San Francisco?
Yeah, I took San Francisco for some reason now.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take the chance to rub this in.
Atlanta 7-0 over the Bucks.
Yeah.
I also took Green Bay last night to cover 9.
Did they cover?
No, they covered 8. I had Green Bay at 9. And then Carolina goes and kicks the pardon my language, field goal.
I know they
I actually got all 3 of those earlier games. I picked the Chargers as the only one on the whole pool, and I got the Bills and the Packers.
Well, I took the Chargers.
Well, then
I took the Bills.
I got the Bills and the Packers, right? But I didn't get the Chargers.
Didn't get the Chargers, no.
Ah, so you gained back that game on me, so now we're tied again, huh?
Yep. The Bills wasn't on the pool. I skipped that one and put the Packers one instead because I thought, and it turned out it would be more competitive.
Do we have anything we disagree on that's left? Or are we basically tied to each other now?
Let me take a look at that here. We'll see what's up. Come on, you. There we go. Got my files here. Let's see, Brandon, you said Bucks, Chiefs, Browns, Steelers. I said Bucks, Saints, Browns, Steelers.
Oh.
Yes, I picked the Saints.
Good for you, man. That was a ballsy pick. If I had big ones, I would have picked the Saints because
I'm thinking that Breeze is back, although we don't know how that's going to look. Plus, KC is already there. Maybe there's a bit of that letdown.
Yeah.
It's not a must-win for them, in other words.
What are they really playing for?
Oh, first place. No, if they want to maintain first place, they have to
keep that number 1.
Yeah, destiny is in their hands.
I mean,
if they lose, destiny's not in their hands.
They're number 2 again, and they don't want that.
Yeah.
Though the Steelers could well be losing another game.
I think the Saints match up well. I'm really impressed with the Saints defense.
Yeah, the Saints have a good defense.
Yeah.
It's a better defense than I can remember. They got a lot of speed, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and
and they'll be amped just to have Breeze back in there. I bet.
Yeah, but they'll force Mahomes out of the pocket. Mahomes, after 1.5 seconds, Mahomes will then run around for another 4 seconds, and find Kelsey, find the cheetah, who will burn. You know, they'll blitz and he'll find the open guy. That defense is good, but I don't know. If Mahomes is on today, and that's this thing. I mean, you know, sometimes they put plays together, sometimes they don't.
Mahomes is like in another planet.
Yeah.
Good luck trying to figure him out.
Yeah, that defense is vulnerable to Mahomes. Definitely.
Any defense is, so.
Pretty much. Yeah, he's better than Tom Brady.
Yeah. That's, at this point in his career, he's the best quarterback I've ever seen.
He's the Derek Thomas of the offense, as Derek Thomas was back in his era. Like Derek Thomas would just change. The rest of the defense could be useless, and pretty much were for a lot of that era. But then you had Derek Thomas, who would just make plays all by himself.
Yeah.
And mess up other offenses all by himself, so they couldn't complete their own plays because he was so in their head. So inside their head.
You see, I see Jackson as having that ability, but he's just not there. He's just not sharp.
But Mahomes does it on the offense, and he raises the level of play.
Lamar?
But then he's also got some very talented receivers.
Talking about Lamar Jackson?
Yeah.
Oh, Lamar, yeah.
There are times when sometimes he's just like he did that last game. He only passed for like 113 yards.
Mm-hmm.
He ran all over the place, man.
But he's more of a runner than Mahomes runs, but he's I think a passer first.
Yeah. I'm just saying I see Lamar as having that potential if he gets.
Lamar's
smart.
Lamar's really, he needs to improve his passing because technically unsound. Completely.
Yeah. That's having fun watching. What's his name? To the Green Bay last night, Rodgers. He just had this shaking his head and rolling his eyes in that second half. They interview him after the. He just getting frustrated. At the interview after the game, he's going, "Yeah, we won, but it wasn't good."
Oh yeah, because he was shut down. Their whole offense was stymied that whole second half, and that's Rodgers, who's a good quarterback, and that happens to Patrick Mahomes, Rodgers. I mean, it's just they can be really good quarterbacks and put together some really good plays, but also, it gets stonewalled too. It happens to
I started
Joe
wondering.
Montana.
They kept running the ball a lot, and I was wondering if he didn't like that play calling.
Well, it did change the tempo.
He kept looking over the sidelines and rolling his eyes and shaking his head.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's probably boredom.
Good point.
Playing the Panthers. Oh my God! How do you even stay awake for that?
They didn't make a game out of it, managed to, but in the second half. But by then they were already. You knew they weren't going to win.
Teddy Bridgewater. You remember that show, Buck Rogers, in the late 1970s on TV?
Yeah. What was it called? Buck Rogers.
Buck Rogers in the 21st Century, and Erin Gray, the semi-pretty girl, was in it, and there was this thing that voiced by Mel Brooks called, was it a Twiggy? Twiggy? And it would always walk in the room and go,
yeah, baby.
And that always reminds me of Teddy Bridgewater, so I was like, Bridgewater.
Cowboys 14-0.
It's 10:30. Time. I think we should break for another clip. How about the? You want to play some extended Three's Company clips with Mr. Roper?
Sure.
That was pretty good.
Mr. Roper. Yeah.
Mr. Roper.
That's funny.
Hey, Stanley, you notice anything different about me tonight?
Not around the mouth.
Oh, come on, Stanley. Hey, come on, look at me. Look, I'm wearing a new dress.
Yeah, it's perfect on you.
Oh, you really think so?
Yeah, it hides your knees.
I got news for you, Stanley. You got competition. We had a peeping Tom the other night.
You're making that up.
No, I'm not. I saw him plain as anything. He was looking in our bedroom window and yawning.
You must have been getting undressed. All right, I'll invite him out to dinner. It'll give me a rest from your cooking.
Good. Okay, you go and invite them, and I'll look for something to wear.
Oh, are you coming too?
Did you tell him about your pain?
No, we didn't talk about you.
Is that you, Stanley?
Yeah,
Well, where'd you go? You didn't even have your breakfast.
just went down the street. I had to get it. What's this?
Oh, it's for wrinkles around the eyes.
Well, it's working. You got a gang of them there.
Oh, hey, 1961. Hey, what's this, Stanley?
What?
This.
Oh, a miniature golf card. Boy, I really used to score pretty good in those days.
Well, times change.
Maybe I need a better course to play on.
Look, isn't that pretty? How do you like it?
What is it?
It's macrame. I'm making a holder for my pot.
You knitting yourself a girdle?
Oh, you know what this arrangement needs is something tall and green and prickly.
How about your mother?
Boy, that Larry should get some new towels. Either that or sew up those gaping holes in the back of this one. Right there.
All right, Alan, let's go. Next time you want to take your clothes off and run around, make sure it's in our apartment.
Oh, Stanley, do you mean it?
Well, just warn me ahead of time. I'll go to the movies or something. You get that, Helen? I'm working on my books.
Well, I'm working on my face.
I'll get it. Your job is tougher than mine.
Yeah, I'd like to, but I don't know what to sculpt.
Are you kidding? That's a great likeness.
That? It's just a blob.
Oh, don't fool me. I'd recognize your mother anyplace.
And there's the breakaway yet again. Why they let him steal the scene?
Here. The Elias Sports Bureau is the official statistician for Major League Baseball. Mm-hmm. They're going to work with something called Seamheads, which is a Negro League database regarded as the definitive online resource. Don't expect any major changes in records. However, it was mentioned here that it could possibly give Willie Mays one more home run. Perhaps.
Well, I wonder if they're going to cite the Sports Encyclopedia for information, or they're going to be racist and exclude white men. Because the Sports Encyclopedia, I bet you, has all those things down there. You know, Tank, he tracked all the obscure leagues.
Yeah. No, Tank's not here to illuminate on that or expand on that.
He's probably busy, getting the database looked at.
See, Elias is the one that like Wikipedia uses, and sometimes there's discrepancy between what you see there and what you see on Baseball Reference.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
They said they got some work to do.
Well, as long as they don't have the Dominion voting, the Dominion software figuring out these baseball records, I'm fine.
All of a sudden, this guy's got all these extra hits now. Jeez.
I see substantial benefit.
Substantial.
Tax-free municipal bonds.
Yep, municipal bonds. This is the ladies' man.
Which are tax-free.
He's having a lot of flashbacks.
I'm married.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Wouldn't you rather be?
Not at the moment.
Oh, no. I mean, wouldn't it be nice to have a husband? Husband?
I do.
Oh, in that case,
You.
No, that's not what I meant one of your own. Someone you can count on.
I am counting on you, honey.
No, I mean, someone you belong to. Someone who cares about you. Someone you're crazy about and who you'd hate yourself if you hurt her.
The line about the municipal bonds was the best part, the whole scene, Jab Dog.
I know. Well, you can save that the right moment, Eric, when you're with the right client, okay?
Oh, God. When I was in my 30s and I was in this business, the number of old women that tried to hit on me, my goodness. every time, every day. It was just like I just ignored it after a while.
I bet you had a pretty good rate of return. Yeah, you're not supposed to mix business with pleasure, though. I'm sure there's some ethical rules about that.
Oh, yes, acting as a fiduciary, of course. All right, San Francisco got on the board.
Oh, I know. I saw it. Yeah, they woke up. Yeah, we're not home free with Dallas by any means.
No. You can only hope.
What else are we going to talk about here?
How about the afternoon? We haven't picked the afternoon games yet.
The afternoon games, those are the good games. So why don't you go through the afternoon now?
Oh, yeah. Okay, here's the best game of the day at 4:05 p.m. on Fox. This is probably why we're getting screwed out this morning, because the New Jersey Jets. Sorry, the New York Jets are at Los Angeles Rams. And the Rams are a 17-point favorite. Yes, repeat, 17.
17? Holy smoke, 17 points.
New Jersey Generals, yes. So your hometown Rams, Chad Dog. This is why you pay those high taxes, so you can get this great football team.
You know what? I'm going to take the Rams and 17.
God. Who's playing quarterback for the Giants?
It's the Jets.
Oh, so you're talking about the Jets.
Yeah, I really am talking about the Jets. The 0-13 Jets, by the way. Does it really matter who's playing quarterback? I think it's Sam Darnold, but I don't know. It could be some guy they picked up off the street, some homeless person from Midtown.
Yeah, go with the Rams. I'm going with the Rams, and you can see the skid marks on my car as I'm driving away from the Jets.
Gentlemen, I'm taking the Jets because I looked this up. The Rams haven't beaten anybody by 17 points this year.
That's true. That's true. But no, if they're going to do it, this is the time to do it. The Jets are just pathetic.
And they're doing it well. They need to lose every game. They're doing it.
Yeah, well, and this is just the game that the Jets will win. Yeah, watch this. In some crazy upset fashion. Some weird trickery will happen. All right, then after that, we've got a more conventional game, the Philadelphia Eagles, 4-8-1 Eagles in Arizona, where you can still play football against the 7-6 Cardinals.
Yeah, I had to go back and forth on this, too, and I got to give it to the Eagles.
Really? Eagles are a 6-point dog here. So, yeah, I could see you saying Arizona's going to win and Eagles to cover, or Eagles for an upset?
Nope, I'm going to say Eagles actually win this game.
Wow.
I don't know why, but...
Yeah, it's... I'm going to go with... I don't think that the Cardinals are, what is it, over 6-point favorites? There's 6-point or more favorites over the Eagles. I don't think that line's going to hold up.
It's 6.
So I've got the Eagles at the points, of course, easy, but I'm going to say outright.
Because remember, the Eagles outright beat this vaunted New Orleans team, which apparently everyone thinks is somehow going to beat Kansas City.
Yeah, that's true. That was kind of an accident, though.
That was only 6 days ago, guys. Oh, it was an accident. Yeah, okay, sure.
That's one of those.
Such a good defense. They're so good.
But Taysom Hill was playing quarterback as well. That they didn't have Drew Brees for that game, but
right.
Well, what's better, a fully warmed up Taysom Hill or a rusty Drew Brees? Like a rusty trombone?
I think a rusty Drew Brees. Well, anyway.
Do you know what a rusty trombone is?
Yeah, I don't know why, but I don't trust the Cardinals that much, and I mean, but this isn't in the desert, so. That's why Arizona's favored by 6.
Because Philly had to travel. Just the fact that they had to travel. And I hope they didn't fly United. Did you hear that story about that guy that got on the United that died on mid-flight on the United flight?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He just happened to die mid-flight. Yeah, of COVID apparently.
He died of COVID on the flight?
Yes.
Maybe he died of something else, and they called it COVID.
That's not what the news is reporting.
I mean, you don't just die in 3 hours of that thing, do you? That doesn't.
Hey, I trust what the news tells me, so it says he died of COVID. He died, and I'm talking, like news, like this is,
like CNN. Yeah, sure.
Universal Press. Oh yeah, apparently he tested positive a week ahead.
He died, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you supposed to be even allowed on a plane if you
No,
have COVID like that?
No. So somebody lied or somebody was incompetent here, and I'm not mentioning United Airlines, but.
Yep.
Imagine if you're sitting next to that guy.
Oh boy.
Imagine if you're stuck next to that guy in the plane.
Yeah.
God.
So that's what I'm saying. So Philly was on that plane, so they flew out here with that guy. So I think they're going to be traumatized by the air travel. I'm taking Arizona. Give me the 6 points. Arizona's going to the playoffs. I'm riding the Kyler Murray train all the way.
I liked them earlier in the season, but they disappoint the last couple of weeks. I'm just throwing a wild one out there to say Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Heck, I got Washington, Cowboys, and Eagles all picked this week.
Yeah, you went on an NFC East binge, huh?
Yeah, if Washington wins, that's going to be very impressive.
Yeah, it would be.
All right, well, who else do you got? What's the next game?
We've already discussed Kansas City and New Orleans. I'm taking KC. I mean, at 3 points, are you kidding me? Only 3? I can get KC for 3? Yeah.
Well, I feel better about picking the Saints then. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going with KC. But it might
I'm
be...
taking the Saints.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, that's well, good there. Yeah, I mean, it's just sorry. I mean, I think you roll the dice, and 9 times out of 10 they'll come up for KC's way here.
Okay, so what's next after that?
Cleveland.
Well, we got the one in NFC. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Sunday Night Football. Cleveland at the Giants, the other team in New York, the other white meat. The 5-8 Giants are hosting the 9-4 Cleveland Browns, who clearly have Pittsburgh in their sights and need to keep up. The Browns a 5-point favorite.
That's my one East team out. I've got to go with the Browns, although I wouldn't be surprised.
But do the Giants have who's playing quarterback for the Giants?
Oh, jeez.
I don't think it's that Daniel Jones guy. It's somebody else, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I heard something about that. That really makes it difficult situation even more difficult.
Yeah, but Cleveland's only a 5-point favorite.
They were actually doing pretty good there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It would be just like the Giants to win this game, though.
It would be.
You know?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It would be Cleveland, just like Cleveland to lose this, be on the brink of having a double-digit win season for the first time in forever, and to put it off another week.
Can't really trust Cleveland, except they're just better than the Giants. But I'm going to say it's going to be. I'm going to say it's going to be a close game. So I'm just going to say I don't think Cleveland's going to cover that.
How many points?
5.
5? Oh, jeez, easy.
That's probably my one.
Yeah, Browns all the way.
Yeah, I changed my mind. I'm going to go with the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to win.
Yeah. I'm on the Browns. I'll take the 5 points. Coming off that very narrow loss, I think there's 2 ways they can react. They can come off flat and defeated and down, or they can come off energized from playing such an amazing game and say, yeah, we belong. This wasn't an aberration. And I think that's the Cleveland's going to show up today and have mercy. Lord have mercy on the New York Giants.
Where's the Giants? Dude.
It's going to be a good. It's going to be regardless of what happens. It's going to be an entertaining game tonight. That's my prediction.
Mm-hmm. So you guys see my post on the Redskins-Vikings game from 1975?
Giants reportedly starting former Washington QB Colt McCoy.
Oh, that's right, Colt McCoy. Yeah, so yeah, more reason why to take Cleveland.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Brian and I can tell you all about Colt McCoy. Nice guy, nice fella. Yeah, his prime, his due date expired a few years ago. He's smelly now. It's stinky.
Yeah.
There's mold growing on him.
I'll go with the Hatfields over any McCoy. Did you see that? You remember that game I was talking about when I posted about the 75 Redskins?
Oh yeah. That was
Billy
great.
Kilmer.
That was great reminiscing. I remember all that.
Yeah. Do you have any of the? We want to play a little of that clip. It's a long clip, but I guess you could play some of it if you. Maybe the last 2 or 3 minutes will be good.
Okay. Let's see. I'll just drop in right here.
That was.
Then it was a roll left, throw left to Stu Voigt for 17 yards to the Washington 28. With 5 seconds left, a whole season would come down to one kick. For the Vikings, a successful kick meant a continuation of a perfect season. But that is merely frosting, for the Vikings are already playoff qualified. But for George Allen and the Redskins, a successful kick meant an almost impossible path to the playoffs and a virtual end to their season. Fred Cox lined up a 45-yarder that could be the final nail in the Redskins' coffin.
He missed.
Washington had survived as number 79 Ron McDowell deflected the kick and saved the Redskins. The Viking dream of a perfect season had ended. But of much greater importance is the fact that the Redskins season continues. They now trail Dallas and St. Louis by 1 game. They have 1 game left with the Cowboys, whom they have already beaten once. If they beat them again and finish...
Yeah, beat them mercilessly. Beat them Cowboys into submission. How dare them try and steal our song.
They didn't.
No,
that was... Yeah. It was a great game, though. 31-30, man. It just kept going... the Redskins got a big lead, and they held on. Fred Cox an extra point, if you can believe that, and that's what cost them the game.
Yeah, I'd rather watch O.J. wearing the gloves that he strangled somebody. Who did he strangle? Oh, he knifed Ronald Goldman in. Yeah, there they are. Gloves he never owned. They fit him pretty well that day.
Yeah. He was a good announcer, though, wasn't he? Did you guys like him? I thought he was a good announcer.
Frank Gifford and O.J. Now, were you friendly with O.J.? Did you know this guy outside of the booth?
I got to know O.J., yes, socially. And we didn't hang out. We never hung out.
When you see, like, you fast forward to, the car chase when they're following O.J., you're probably sitting there, holy, this is crazy.
That's the guy?
That's O.J.
That's O.J.
That's O.J.
No, it wasn't crazy because I did work with O.J. for a year. And
Pothead?
Pothead?
Not with me. And I never saw him really get angry or whatever.
Oh, hothead.
But he had his style.
Well, you're saying, in other words, you saw things in him that would indicate a guy who might go off and do something stupid.
Well, you know what? I still try to live by if you don't have something good to say about somebody, try not to say it at all.
Was he mistreating women? Is that the thing you saw?
Well, maybe, I spoke of loyalty to a woman or a guy when you're together, and that can be breached a bit, and that kind of drops your credentials a little bit.
Can I read between the lines?
Yeah, was he masturbating in front of women like Louis C.K.?
And maybe even when you were with a woman, maybe hitting on your woman.
Yeah, Louis C.K.
Never.
No, I wasn't with a woman in his company.
Right.
Yeah, leave the women out because OJ's here.
OJ's here. Everybody get rid of their women.
I didn't meet anybody else. No, I know. I mean, that wasn't it. It was just that we didn't hang.
Yeah, didn't hang.
Yeah, he was pretty clear about that.
Yeah, we didn't hang.
Did I tell you about Drew? My friend Drew that calls in sometimes.
He called in last week.
Drew Owens.
Andrew.
He had
Sorry,
a theory
Drew.
about what happened with OJ. That I don't know if you've heard the theory that OJ took the rap basically for something that his son did, and
what
he knew that he knew that they wouldn't be able to pin it on him, so that ultimately he would get off. So he was willing to kind of pretend like he did it.
Oh, well, that explains everything. So it was O.J.'s son.
Yeah, it was O.J.'s son, apparently. That's what he said.
Wow.
So next time he's on, we can ask him about that.
The truth revealed on the Chab Dog Sports Talk radio show for the world. We know who the real killer is. Wow. And it wasn't O.J.
I forgot. He made some pretty good arguments about it.
Uh-huh.
And if I could pull his email up to me, I could read it to you. But let me see. Hold on a second.
We just have to see if the gloves fit his son.
Yeah. Yeah. And what if they did? What if the glove fit perfectly and they say, holy crap, we had it wrong all along?
I can tell you that, I shook the guy's hand, and he has very big hands. Very big hands. So it's not surprising that gloves wouldn't fit him.
Uh-huh.
And let's see. Oh, here, hold on. I'm going to get to it pretty soon here.
Uh-huh.
Don't want. Not coming up. Wait a second. Damn.
You're supposed to have gloves in a museum somewhere.
And the author of a
yeah.
biography about Pete Maravich, the late Pete Maravich. So we've got that book here.
Unbelievable.
We're going to ask Bill his best Maravich story. But
this is an incredible
Bill Walton
book. There are so many facts, so many stories. I was a great personal friend of Pete. We were never teammates. I played against him a lot. But this book has been so interesting and entertaining to me. I'm an avid reader, and this book has captured my imagination. And if I put everything else aside as I just power through this every day. And I can remember when Pete got traded from Atlanta, where he started his career, over to New Orleans when the team went down there in his expansion team. And they had never won a game. They were 0-14, and they were the worst team in the league. And Otto Moore was the center. They couldn't do anything, but Pete was just lighting them up. And the Portland Trailblazers, we go in there. We had a team, and it was not the championship team, but we had a good enough team. And we were pounding them early, way up at halftime. And Pete in the second half just takes over. And he goes absolutely wild. He's playing 1 against 5, and he's up and down the court shooting jumpers, hooks, full court behind the back passes through guys' legs. He's just everything. And in the very last play of the game, we're up 1, and Pete dribbles up. 4 of our guys go chase him because they know he's not going to pass it, and he's falling out of bounds, and he shoots it as he's tumbling over the row of fans in the corner.
Literally.
And I am standing underneath the basket waiting for the last rebound of the game. We're going to win the game, and they're not going to win a game ever, the New Orleans Jazz. And the ball swishes perfectly through the net. He's unbelievable. And he reminds me a lot, if you can compare him to anybody, to Steve Nash today, although Pete was much bigger. Pete's 6'5", and much more athletic in terms.
Much more athletic. Yes, and he goes on
yeah,
and on
that's
and on.
Bill Walton.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have anything for the fake Bill Walton that Cayendo does?
Well, we only had that one clip of Cayendo.
Yeah, he does.
We all settled on the Steelers, right?
Oh, Steelers-Bengals.
Well, it's 13 points. That's the only thing. I don't care. I'm on the Steelers. I'll take the 13.
That's a lot of points.
13's a lot, but
I know. What are you supposed to do? I also looked that up too. Cincinnati's really good at losing by more than 13 points a lot.
I'm going to go with Cincinnati to get it closer than that.
Joe Burrow's gone. Who's playing quarterback?
Yeah, who's playing quarterback? It's Brandon Allen, that guy, that wash-up from the Cowboys. Is that right? Is it him?
Who is it? Bengals.
Yeah, they'll feast on him. You remember every game there's some poster child, some Cincinnati defenders getting posterized, by a big, strong Steelers receiver, where they're like kicking over somebody as they're running by.
Yeah.
Who's going to be this year?
Antonio Brown was famous for doing that.
Yep.
High-stepping, kicking.
Yeah, high-stepping, running right through people. It's hilarious to see, and it usually was against a Cincinnati opponent, so I'm excited to see who's going to do it tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Steelers regardless of the points, and But I don't know. They're scaring me.
I know. That running game has been legally dead for quite a while. It's dangerous when it's dead like that.
Yeah.
No, they've proven they don't need it. Not against a team like Cincinnati. Not against these teams.
They don't need it against a crappy team like the Bengals. So
yeah, it's beneath them.
Yeah, you're right.
That's true.
Might as well go with the Steelers to take that, beat that spread, to cover that spread. And
okay.
That's asking a lot, but I think they can score 30 points. Hold the Bengals to 17.
Mm-hmm.
It'll probably be 30-17. Is it a 13-point spread?
It's a 13-point spread.
It says Ryan Finley is going to be the quarterback.
Oh, Finley.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm scared.
Yeah. See the
Ryan
grandson,
Finley.
Charlie Finley.
Oh, my goodness. Finley.
Well, we're coming up on the 11 o'clock hour, so that's when we turn into a pumpkin. I guess let's run down the games.
Got him, yeah.
See how we're doing, and then...
So it's the game that we're all currently watching, that we're forced to watch in the largest television market in the nation, the Cowboys versus San Francisco.
I love that when we didn't have a team. Man.
Yeah.
It was great.
Over CBS. It was much better. Let's get rid of these teams again. Anyway, Dallas up 17-7. Who cares? In a game that I'm going to flip to in a moment once my computer's free, Seattle's up 6-0 over Washington. In the frozen tundra of an indoor stadium in Minnesota... Or where is that game? Yeah, it is in Minnesota.
It's in Minnesota.
The Bears are up 17-7 in the Lazarus redemption of Mitch Trubisky. You know, he lives to walk again. So,
like I said, what the F happened to the Vikings? They should have been able to hang with the Bears here, and they're not.
They got Kirk Cousined.
Yeah, that's.
There you go. They got Kirk on it. I knew he was a fraud. They wouldn't believe me.
Yep. Yeah, but you'll see. They'll lose the game, but Kirk Cousins will pass for 4 touchdowns and 256 yards in the loss. It'll look great. A huge quarterback rating.
It's slow death for the Deadskins. Without Alex Smith, they don't have an offense, do they?
It's weak.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
but they can score on special teams and defense. They're good at that.
Defensive line is awesome in Washington.
It actually is getting better. In the heat of Miami, the Patriots lead 6-0.
What the F? What's going on with Miami's offense?
Closely contested game. 4:15 to go in the game, and the Patriots apparently still have the ball, and they're up 6-0. So it's been
like they've had the ball the whole game.
Yeah. I'm going to flip to that as well.
Dolphins, yeah.
And for all you fans of the Ravens, well, you got nothing to worry about. You're up 19-0 over Jacksonville with 3:23 to go, and part of those 19 points apparently involved a safety. Baltimore got us 2 points on a safety. Oh, and holy crap! And for those that just would not take the Dirty Birds, and just confirming here that I did take the Dirty Birds. Yes. Atlanta up 14-0 over Tampa Bay, who has never met Atlanta before and doesn't know how to face them. And Tom Brady doesn't know how to take care of it. Tom Brady knew how to take care of Atlanta in that Super Bowl, but not today.
Yeah, Tom Brady took the day off, it looks like.
Yeah. Tennessee is up 21-7 over Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good result. And Indianapolis up 14-7 over Houston. Houston, the 7-point dog. So that the spread is tied right now. 3:06 to go in the game. In the half. Indy's got the ball. 14-7 over Houston.
Okay.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, 17-7.
17-7 over the Niners.
They won't die quietly.
Cowboys could still win the division, couldn't they, Brian?
All those teams could still win the division.
Yeah, theoretically, they're all still in it.
Yeah.
So Chab Doug, as we're going out here, and the title of the show today, of course, is it's bad is bad.
Yes. So we're almost done with the baddest year of them all.
Eagles actually had the advantage because of that tie, believe it or not.
I know. So they're still wiggling back and forth like the dead fish. 7, 8, and 1.
You want to play the Huey Lewis song, and
we got it.
That'll take care of to this week's show, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Hope everybody has a very merry week coming up.
Yes, because we'll regroup again after Christmas here, and happy we finished our Hanukkah lighting here. Everything was great. So.
Yes, thank you for the Hanukkah picture. I posted that. It looked wonderful.
Yeah. Greetings for everybody like him.
Brian, Merry Christmas to both of you guys. Have a very joyous one, and my thoughts are with you on this holiday. Have a wonderful week, and we'll be back next week.
Hey, I got one question for you, Chab Dog.
Happy holidays, gentlemen.
Happy holidays, and Chab Dog, where do you order your Chinese food from on Christmas Day?
Chinese. There's a PF Chang. No, it's a Chin Chin's around where we live. We tend to go there lately because I get some good coupons and the food's pretty good. So that's where we go.
Sweet. Yeah, we're hitting the Hong Kong kitchen, Harbor Boulevard, Costa Mesa.
Just going to have it a
the Golden Dragon.
Dinner over
Golden Dragon.
In-laws this year. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm a heathen, so. But my wife's Christian, so maybe she'll make a ham or something. But I kind of suspect she's not going to want to do that.
That's trite. That's really trite. A ham. Trafe.
We're having turducken instead.
There you go. I think that's somewhere that's got to be that.
Dallas just knocked away a pass. They're fighting off the 49ers as their lead's being challenged.
Mm-hmm. Well, so, I'm going to play No Vaseline after Huey Lewis here.
All right, well, we're going to hear from one of the biggest dicks in Hollywood, Huey Lewis. He's really got a, apparently.
Really?
Caring.
Yeah, thank you for putting images in my head that I can't get rid of for the rest of the day. I really needed
I
that.
had to correct the record on Jewish people, and we got 2 representatives on that list.
He's a 3 now.
Forgot about Junior. Have a great week, everybody, and thanks for listening. Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you later.
All right, and you better.
Went uptown to see my cousin. Plays guitar, sound like a chainsaw buzz. In the crowd, I see his mom and dad. I say, hey, uncle, man, your son is bad. Sometimes bad. I said, cool as a room, but
Yeah, well, now we're at the point where it's Dallas 17, San Francisco 14.
It was about the third week into Kathy's weight loss battle where things really started to go downhill. She was eating salads 4 or 5.
But now, since he stepped the fuck off.
Here's what they think about you. Here's what.
Okay. And now I see you on a video with Michelet looking like straight bozos. I saw it coming, that's why I went solo and kept on stomping. While y'all motherfuckers moved straight out of Compton. Living with the whites, one big house, and not another nigga in sight. I started off with too much cargo, dropped 4 niggas, now I'm making all the dough. White man just ruling. The niggas with attitudes, who you fooling? Y'all niggas just phony. I put that on my mama and my dead homies. Yellow boys on your team, so you're losing. Hey yo, Dre, stick to producing, calling me owner, but you been a dick. Easy E saw your ass and went in it quick. You got jealous when I got my own company, but I'm a man and ain't nobody helping me. Trying to sound like America most. You can yell all day, but you don't come close. Cause you know I'm the one that float. You done ran 100 miles, but you still got one to go. With the LENCHMOB and y'all disgrace to CPT. Cause you're getting fucked out your green by a white boy with no Vaseline. The bigger the cat, the bigger the pillin'. Who gives a fuck about a punk ass villain? You're getting fucked real quick and easy dick. It's smelling like MC Ren shit. Tried to tell you a year ago, but Willie D told me to let a hoe be a hoe, so I couldn't stop you from getting ganked. Now let's play Big Bank, take Little Bank. Tried to diss Ice Cube, it wasn't worth it cause the boomstick fits your ass so perfect. Cut my hair, now cut them balls, cause I heard you like giving up the draws. Gang bang by your manager, fella, get money out your ass like a motherfucking ready teller. Giving up the dollar bills, now they got the villain with a purse and high heels. So don't believe what Ren say, cause he's going out like Tooth the Kid, but I got a whip for you, Toby. Used to be my homie, now you act like you don't know me. It's a case of divide and conquer, cause you let a Jew break up my crew. House nigga gotta run and hide, yelling Compton, but you moved to Riverside. So don't front, MC Ren, cause I remember when you drove a B210, broke as a motherfucking joke. Let you on the scene to back up the first team. It ain't my fault, one nigga got smart and they ripping your asshole apart by taking your grin. Oh yeah, the villain does get fucked with no Vaseline. I never have dinner with the president. I never have dinner with the president. I never have dinner with the president. And when I see your ass again, I'll be hesitant. Now I think you a snitch. Throw a house nigga in a ditch. Half pint bitch, fucking your homeboys, you little maggot. Easy E turn faggot with your manager, fella. Fucking MC Ren, Dr. Dre, and Yella. But if they were smart as me, Easy E'll be hanging from a tree with no Vaseline. Just a match and a little bit of gasoline. Light 'em up, burn 'em up, flame on, so that Jericho is gone. On a permanent vacation, off the massive plantation. Heard you both got the same bank account, dumb nigga. What you thinking about? Get rid of that devil real simple. Put a bullet in his temple. Cause you can't beat a nigga for life, crew. With a white Jew telling you what to do. Pulling wolves with your scam. Now I gotta play the silence of the lamb with a mission who's a punk too. Trying to fuck me, but I'd rather fuck you.